High Priest Kwatamani speaks on the misappropriation of sexual energy within and among man, he and she. High Priest Kwatamani, supreme soothsayer, soul seer, spiritual healer and revealer, chief elder of the Kwatamani First Genesis tribe, the oldest, longest sustained, raw and living, plant fuel consuming, family community order known, over half a century and still going strong.
Akwaba, Mache, greetings, welcome. Just having a little joyful expression with the senior priestess doing this intermission, a little break in between that first session and the next one. But having a vibration, a sensation to actually give a shout out to a special soul, a soul who have somehow maintained through difficult times a focus on higher peace conscious resurrection. So to BRG, much thanks, praise, and appreciation for your tenacity. He was put on track to the absolute consumption of raw living fruits, vegetable seeds, nuts, herbs, and spice without deviation, to stay continuously focused. And the Anna had taken a little trip from my beautiful, relaxed jungle sanctuary up into the northern sphere, and we had went through some regeneration processes, some different kinds of herbs and other kinds of tonics and etc. to put vibrance back into the BRG. He having a desire to want to have sun. And it was beautiful. So a lot of temple dedication and devotion was put into restoring his natural and innate energies. So during that particular journey, we had somehow restored this brotherman's spiritual connection with his physical temple. And it was a very positive result. That is to say, an offspring was born. Supreme thanks, praise, and appreciation for that. Now, this conversation during this intermission has importance to so many of you. And I like to speak of everything from a holistic living perspective, so it doesn't actually focus on the self-centered, individualistic perspective, but more bringing it whole and clean so that each and every one of us can get something out of it. The brethren said to I, by the way, High Priest, I have a question. I remember asking you a question, and you talked about the penis and the tongue, and that they can actually serve a similar kind of a purpose. And I gave a big smile, knowing where the brother man was coming from. And I said to him, I'm going to give you a solid answer. Any relationship that we have must start from a wholesome and clean perspective. So you must make sure that you're indulging in any food substance, if you even kissing someone, or any other vibration thereof that interface with this mouth, to take great honor, deep-seated appreciation for giving it the best that you can possibly give it, and to make sure that whatever you bring to that mouth is of the most wholesome, clean, vibrant nature of energy. And I said, and that's the same thing that each and every one of us, I'm speaking to the male at this instance, each and every one of us, he must have that focus when dealing with his penis, his element, his entry into the sacred spaces of the feminine. That we cannot simply stick it anywhere for the sake of each and every one of you. let I be very clear. There are two different natures of energy. Divine order, disorder. Two different natures of energy. One encoded to empower the soul. The other encoded to maintain mind control. We have to realize what nature of energy we're serving. Clearly, we're talking about soul-to-soul relationships. The primary reason for our existence directly interface with sexuality. However, our primary focus for existence is not to see how we can run around chasing different kinds of lustful vibrations, seeking pleasure wherever our eyes look and glance and see someone who catch our attention based upon a profile projected through the social media, etc. But rather, our focus must be to indulge in an inner course, an inner relationship with that being. And in actually establishing that inner relationship, a peaceful, harmonious unit with the primary goal and objective, the primary goal and objective to accelerate holistic living energy. The acceleration of holistic living energy at its most precise presentation is to go forward and multiply divine socioeconomic family community order into the generation next. We're talking about divine order now. The objective is to multiply spiritual intercourse. And in this particular brief intermission, I just want to make sure that we're on course and on track with the subject matter. And in that process, I'm simply expressing that what we must do is to evaluate every circumstance that we get involved in, because we're in this body temple as a soul, on a soul journey. And that soul journey becomes very important when we make those soul-to-soul connections. When we make a clean and wholesome soul-to-soul connection, let me tell you something. A hug, a caress, or just a warm look at each other, a gentle vibration of just all kinds of things are so satisfying. We have to stay away from those wandering vibrations where you see someone and you want to feel that sense of conquest. You're not quite able to do it in the manner in which you may want to do it, but you're willing to do it in other ways just to kind of make that ego feel good inside. We have to stay away from the ego trips. We have to know full well that the most precious gift that we have is life, and that soul essence of who we be is the core, the heart of our life presence, and that we should actually indulge to lift the soul, to fuel the energies of appreciation for the soul of another being. If we take that approach, then how we indulge with the being, our physical expressions are simply the physical expressions of the soul intention. And if we do that, then we have taken our being out of danger of having those overindulgements with self-deified individualism, or those indulgements that actually serve the self-centered ego drive of the next being. We're not here to be used and abused by an opposing nature of energy. We're here to serve the holistic living essence of the soul. If we're given a bit of appreciation, like, hey, I appreciate you, baby. Come over here. Let me just, that's a beautiful thing. Know that. And as for the feminine, although I was indulging in this communication, masculine to masculine, we have to keep holistic living reality. And so for the feminine, what I would say to you is, hey, You are the entry to life, baby. You are the place where we all began. You have to be as precise as anyone, not to be allowing any kind of anything entering your sacred space. I don't care if it's by tongue. I don't care if it's by anything, finger or anything. You have to protect the sacred spaces and places of our existence. We have an obligation, man, to give you precise guidance and protection so that your womb, which is the home of each and every one of us in our earliest beginning, is preserved for those sacred happenings. Take time, evaluate any place you put your tongue, any place you put your penis, and make sure that you're putting whole life energy in that indulgement. Make sure that it is a mutual, whole, clean, positive relationship with someone that you honor, adore, respect, and that the feelings are mutual. And it should be a relationship. It should be something that is an ongoing, continuous vibration. And realize that life is for the living, for giving to the generation next. A greater example